she's talking about selling the Independence Inn, and it just wigged me out a little. It's stupid, I don't know, but it was our home for so long, mine and Rory's, and it's just weird to think that it wouldn't be there, and I wouldn't be there, and I just got very upset.
Lorelai Gilmore is one of the most beloved characters in television history. She's charming, funny, quick, fiercely independent, and very, very good at running away the second something starts to feel too real. Usually when people talk about that side of Lorelai, they talk about her romantic relationships, and I get it, because her love life makes this pattern pretty obvious. But I actually think the pattern is much bigger than romance. Lorelai has a hard time letting go of anything that once made her feel safe. And that's what I want to talk about in this video, because Lorelai's issue isn't just commitment, it's the kind of change that asks her to leave behind the version of herself she fought so hard to become.
I never want to leave this town.
Welcome to another episode of Pexposure. I'm Pecky, and I make video essays about the psychology behind characters in film and TV. I'm still rolling with Gilmore Girls, so you know the drill. Grab some coffee or your favorite beverage of choice, and let's get into it. I have some peppermint tea here. What's interesting to me is that the show often plays this side of Lorelai like a charming quirk.
What didn't you like about that one, specifically, so we can kind of narrow things down?
The whole thing, I don't know, it's a feeling, it's hard to explain. Like with the Wrangler, I just got in and I had a feeling I didn't get the feeling there.
Yeah, right.
Huh?
She's impulsive, spontaneous, and gets attached to weirdly specific things. The Jeep, the house, the routines, and the exact shape of the life she built for herself. And on the surface, that can feel amusing. But underneath it, I think there's something much more emotional happening. Lorelai's whole adult life begins with one major act of leaving. She leaves Hartford, her parents' house, and the future that was planned for her. After that, she builds a very specific world where she finally gets to feel safe, independent, and in control. So when something threatens to change that world, even when it's something good, Lorelai panics. Because for her, moving forward always carries this more subconscious fear that she might lose the life she built to save herself. To understand why Lorelai holds on so tightly to the life she built, we have to start with the life that she left. Lorelai grew up in a world where almost everything about her future was already decided before she had a chance to decide anything for herself. And her parents weren't just hoping she would follow the same path they did, they were enforcing it.
They will get married. They will live here. And Christopher will go to work at my company. That is the solution.
I have just one question. Why his company?
Emily obviously is a huge part of this. Her love is intense, but it's also conditional. She loves Lorelai through correction, appearances, and control. If something doesn't fit the image, Emily tries to fix it.
Put on your sweats and run around the block. You're going to fit into the next dress no matter what.
Being loved by her mother often meant being controlled by her mother. But I actually think Richard is a major part of this too.
He always was a smart one, that boy. You must take after him.
He isn't constantly correcting Lorelai in the same way Emily is. He's not always in her face a lot of the time. He's just cold, passive-aggressive, or slightly removed.
And how are things at the motel?
The inn? They're great.
And that can be so much harder to process because there's nothing as concrete to push against. Richard never seems especially interested in knowing Lorelai emotionally. That kind of distance teaches a child something very specific. Even when I'm impressive, I don't get warmth. Even when I'm interesting, I don't get seen. Even when I do everything right, something about me still doesn't quite reach you. And then years later, Lorelai has to watch Richard become the grandfather to Rory that he never really knew how to be as a father to her. He and Rory read the same books, they talk about Yale, he beams with pride over her in this way that feels easy and natural. Lorelai is happy for Rory for the most part, but she's also watching her daughter receive a version of Richard she never got. It's one thing to have an emotionally distant parent. It's another thing to watch that same parent become warm, invested, and delighted by someone else. Even when that someone else is your daughter, and even when you love that relationship, there has to be some grief there. In A Year in the Life, Emily asks Lorelai to share a memory of Richard, and Lorelai can't seem to find one. And I know people read that scene as Lorelai being selfish or making the whole moment about herself, and honestly, she does annoy me in that scene, and it's a little hard to watch. I think Lorelai can't find the memory because she spent her whole life trying to reach a father who was never fully reachable.
Oh, I remember when he took me to the park.
He didn't take me to a park.
The zoo.
Not either.
The store, the club, Kathmandu. I don't give a damn where he took you.
Even though there were tender moments between them, moments we do see as an audience, those moments are still outweighed by years of emotional neglect. It's not that she didn't love him, it's that the connection was so complicated and full of absence that even in grief, she doesn't quite know where to put it. And I think this becomes the emotional foundation for so much of Lorelai's life. Emily teaches her that closeness can come with control. Richard teaches her that closeness can still leave you lonely. So when Lorelai leaves Hartford at 16, she's leaving an entire version of womanhood, family, love, and adulthood that never felt like it belonged to her. She chooses uncertainty over control, a potting shed over a mansion, and difficulty over being turned into someone else's idea of who she needs to be. And eventually, she builds a life no one else gets to choose for her. So when something threatens to change that life, even if it's something good, Lorelai reacts like she's being asked to let go of the self she fought so hard to become.
I couldn't stay where I am if I wanted. Mia is selling the inn. The inn is where Rory took her first step. It's where I took my first step.
Lorelai has wanted her own inn for years. It's not some random dream that falls into her lap. It's something that she and Suki have talked about, planned for, imagined, and slowly worked toward. We even hear Lorelai talk about owning her own inn someday in the very first episode. So you would think that once it starts becoming real, excitement would take over. And she is excited, but she's also terrified. When Lorelai and Suki start seriously looking at the Dragonfly and talking to Fran about buying it, the whole thing shifts from fantasy into reality. Suddenly, this isn't just something they talk about doing someday. It would require risk, money, timing, responsibility, and a real departure from the Independence Inn. So when Mia gives her blessing and tells Lorelai she can move forward, relief should be the reaction. Instead, she panics.
What's the big deal? The big deal is she's not going to sell it to another Mia. It's going to be a big chain, and they'll come marching in with their business models and their corporate-approved architects and designers and change everything around and remodel, and the place will lose all its personality and charm.
Because now there's no one standing in her way. And I think that's such an important Lorelai pattern. Sometimes she seems calmer when there's an obstacle because the obstacle gives her something to fight against. But when the obstacle disappears, she has to face the scarier question underneath it all. Do I actually want this enough to step into it? That's when all the anxiety comes up. And then Suki becomes the target.
But I gotta tell you, my back is aching from all the extra slack I'm taking up.
Lorelai isn't completely wrong in being frustrated with her, but Suki isn't really the source of the reaction. She becomes the safe place to put all of that anxiety because it's much easier to say, you're not taking this seriously, than it is to say, I'm scared to leave the place that saved me.
You don't care what happens to this place?
Please give this video a like and subscribe if you're enjoying so far. For Lorelai, even good change can feel threatening because good change still asks her to loosen her grip on something familiar. This example shows that her avoidance isn't just about men. It's about transition, permanence, and the moment where the thing she says she wants becomes real enough to require a version of herself she hasn't fully met yet.
I want to go ahead with our plans. Forget my freak out, pretend it didn't happen, let's move forward.
By the time the Dragonfly is doing well, Lorelai has basically gotten what she always said she wanted. She has her own inn, it's successful, and it's hers. And Suki's. But then an opportunity comes along that could make it bigger. There's an interest in the inn. There's talk of expansion, consulting, travel, and turning what she built into something with a much larger reach.
Apparently, you are an up-and-comer.
I'm an up-and-comer.
Long story short, Lorelai, Mike Armstrong would like to take a meeting with you.
Why?
Well, he's in the inn business. I assume he wants to offer you some sort of job.
On paper, that should be exciting. It's recognition and growth, and proves that what Lorelai created isn't just charming in a small town way, but valuable beyond Stars Hollow. But Lorelai doesn't really chase that, and I don't think that means she lacks ambition. I actually think Lorelai is very ambitious. Her ambition just has a specific shape. She wants ownership, independence, and something that belongs to her. But she also wants it close enough that she can keep her hands around it.
I'm probably not gonna take the deal.
You're not?
This is my inn. I love it here.
The Dragonfly is her dream, but it's also a dream that fits inside the life she already built.
I have no intention of meeting with this guy. I'm happy with what I've got.
Lorelai can commit to a dream when the dream feels self-made and emotionally safe. She isn't always drawn to expansion. She's drawn to familiarity, autonomy, and control. She wants a life that's hers, but not necessarily one that keeps asking her to become bigger and bigger. And that connects back to the larger pattern. Commitment unsettles Lorelai most when it threatens to change the shape of her life. We see this with the Twickham House too. When Lorelai and Luke are engaged, Luke buys this huge house because he's imagining a future with her. In his mind, it's romantic, it's practical, and a place where they can build a life together. Maybe have kids and grow into this bigger, more traditional version of a family. But Lorelai doesn't want it. Not because she doesn't want a future with Luke, she does. The problem is that version of that future requires her to leave the house that has become the center of her life.
Maybe we should hang on to this house.
To rent?
No, not to rent. I don't want anyone else living in it.
It's where she raised her daughter, created routines, built her independence, and became the version of herself that actually feels like herself. So when Luke imagines them moving into the Twickham house, Lorelai hears change. And to be fair, I don't think Lorelai is wrong here. Luke buying a house without really making that decision with her is its own communication problem. But Lorelai's reaction is still revealing. She wants Luke close, but she wants the closeness inside the life she already has. And Luke does compromise. He moves into her house, renovates it, and they try to make her home work for both of them. Lorelai's version of commitment often looks like, I want you near me, but I need you to fit into the world I already built. And that's because her home is one of the few places where she's always felt fully in control. Leaving it wouldn't just mean moving houses. For Lorelai, it would mean letting go of a huge piece of the identity she created after leaving her parents' world. That connects directly to the bigger pattern. Lorelai wants love, marriage, and a future with Luke while still feeling unsettled by the changes that the future asks of her. It isn't the love itself that scares her as much as the rearranging of the life around it. In season 7, her car is clearly falling apart, so she goes car shopping with Luke, and of course nothing feels right. Every option feels wrong, and nothing has the right feeling.
Sorry.
But I don't understand. It's the same car.
It's not the same car.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? It's different.
It's not different. It's just a newer model.
So Luke finds a way to help her keep the old car because of course he does.
So if you want to keep your old car for whatever crazy feeling it gives you, okay, then buy this guy's car, send it to Gypsy, she'll take the engine out, put it in the old car, which makes absolutely no sense because you basically be paying the same amount of money to fix your old car as you would be paying to get into a new one.
But I still have my car.
Yeah.
And then in A Year in a Life, years later, she's still finding ways around the fact that this thing is old and probably should have been replaced a long time ago.
Uber.
Right, but it's this...
Uber.
Lorelai doesn't want to let go of the things that have carried her through her life, even when they're no longer really working. Lorelai has this deep attachment to the life she already knows. There's a part of her that wants growth and love and a future, but when moving forward asks her to physically leave something behind, she resists. There's a psychological pattern here that I think helps explain Lorelai without turning this into a diagnosis. Avoidant attachment usually develops when a child learns very early that needing people isn't always safe. Maybe the caregivers are emotionally distant and the love feels very conditional. and maybe support is available, but it comes with control or criticism attached to it. So the child learns to adapt. Independence becomes protection, self-soothing becomes second nature, and asking for too much starts to feel risky. On the outside, they can seem funny, capable, impressive, and completely fine, even when there's a lot more going on underneath. Because Lorelai's independence is real. It's one of the best things about her. She built a life for herself and Rory from almost nothing. She worked her way up at the inn, she created a home, and became the person people depend on. But that independence also has a protective function. It keeps her safe. It also keeps her from ever being fully at the mercy of someone else's approval again. And I think that's why letting go is so hard for her. For Lorelai, familiar things are evidence that she survived. These are the things that helped her become someone outside of Emily and Richard's world. So when she's asked to leave them, change them, outgrow them, or let them become something else, it feels like a threat to the life she built to protect herself. And that's where I think Lorelai's avoidance becomes more interesting than just she runs from commitment. Because yes, she does run from commitment in relationships, but the deeper pattern is that Lorelai runs when something asks her to surrender control over the world she made for herself. It's the possibility of being absorbed, trapped, or becoming someone else's version of herself again. Once you see that, the non-romantic examples start to make so much more sense. Lorelai can move forward, but only when moving forward doesn't feel like losing herself. And that's where I'll leave this one. I originally had a much longer version of this essay where I went through every one of Lorelai's romantic relationships, but once I started writing it, I realized that could honestly be its own video. So if you want to hear my full take on Lorelai's relationship patterns, let me know in the comments because I do have all of those notes. Thank you so much for watching and for being here. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!